And a happy Taco Tuesday to everyone. This is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, officially checking in. This, of course, is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you. I just got to say this thank you to all who have sent in donations via GoFundMe, via my Zelle. Thank you so much. I, I I cannot thank you enough. I really can't. Thank you so much. When I looked at my account this morning, I saw money. That's what I saw. I saw money. Thank you for those who sent that money in via Zelle at Al P. Greer. That's Al P as in Paul, Greer at gmail.com. Thank you for that. And also those who sent in money via my GoFundMe page. Thank you for that as well. Man, you guys rock. So I gotta say, you guys rock. Coming up in our last hour, we do a thing we call foreplay. Four songs by one of your favorite artists or groups, male or female. That's in our last hour here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. And throughout the night, we will do a thing we call Who Did It Best? Who Did It Best? Same song, two different artists. And we will hear that as well. Otherwise, I'm just elated to be here. I had a good nap and everything. So let's kick it off with the Whispers and Walter and Scotty all by themselves. It's more of the night and Dirty Dancing, my remix of the remix on Bedtime Stories. Good evening, Duran. Duran Williams, first in the chat room. He's in the chat room. More of the night. And more. Ooh, I didn't get my dinner yet. Excuse me for a minute there, Deron. Grab the din din. Whew, good God. Ooh. Be right back. Henry Cooper, good evening. All right, I'm back for good, not for evil. Henry Cooper, how was your day, gentlemen? Spent half of my day in bed and the other half here in the studio. In the studio. There's this guy every time he sees me. You gonna be on the air tonight? No, I'm only on Monday through Thursday. gonna be on the air tonight. Nope, not gonna be on the air tonight. You sure? I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna just tell them, yeah, I'm gonna be on. Yeah, have them listen to Big Corn. And your voice sounded different last night, and you was playing jazz. Yeah, because that wasn't me. Not on every night. Gonna be on because I'm gonna listen. Okay. We'll be up all night listening to you. Thank you. I'm scared of you. The Maestro Barry White, and you turn my whole world around. Yes, darling, it's true love that I found. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. And I remember back in the day when we were still playing records, you remember this, Sugar D. And on the back of the 45 of every uh, Barry White song, there was an instrumental. So, sometimes it'd be like slow music, and I could play it in the background while I was on the phone talking to my girlfriend, right? How cool was that, right? And you sound just like Barry White. Thank you, baby. Thank you. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep, with the greatest love songs of all time. This for my good buddy and brother, Sugar D. Richardson, the Dynamic Superiors times two. This is Shoo Shoo Shine on Bedtime Stories. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Remember. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. No, we didn't. Mm. Mm, mm, do, 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 do. Fellas, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just eating my dinner as usual. I didn't get a chance to go to my sister's house today. She has some leftovers from cooking last night. Not last night. Last night was Monday. Sunday night. Limbs, I wish. Bob Coleman, I could go for some turkey tips from Limbs right now. Mm-hmm. Limbs, I wish. I can afford Limbs. I said, brother, I got a car note due tomorrow. I hope I have enough to cover it. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to lug that equipment around on in an Uber. I'm just saying. Hmm. It's going to be kind of rough carrying that stuff in an Uber. Like, sir, how long? How much more equipment do you have? Two in a row from the dynamic superiors. Shoe, shoe, shine, and leave it alone. I remember seeing them on Soul Train, and Bob Coleman knows what I'm talking about. I think Henry Cooper remembers Duran might be a little bit younger than all of us. But I remember the time the Dynamic Superiors were on Soul Train. And Don kept his distance from Tony Washington, who was the lead singer of the group. He kept, looked like he was backing up, like, no, no, I'm straight. Like he kept backing up. It's like, introduce yourselves. And Tony said, I'm Tony Washington. And the crowd cheered. I'm like, you go with yourself. Robert Coleman said, am I eating limbs? I was like, I can't afford to eat limbs. You know, today is Taco Tuesday, and this is the first Taco Tuesday I've been taco-less. I just hope I can pay my car note tomorrow. I'm just saying. Donations are welcome via Zelle at alpgreer@gmail.com. That's alp as in Paul, Greer @gmail.com. I know you all are going to get sick of me, boy. But once again, thank you to the donations I've gotten over the last 48 hours on my GoFundMe page. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And at a later date, I will thank each and every one of you all. I promise. Here's some leftovers from last night's foreplay. Here's George Benson's Kissing, or Kisses, I should say, in the Moonlight. You was on Soul Train. Bob Coleman was on Soul Train, y'all. That's all right. Not the Soul Train in LA, y'all. Don't get it twisted. But the Soul Train here in Chicago. Mm-hmm. Yep. For those of you who are too young to remember, there was a Soul Train here in Chicago, hosted by the same guy. And that was, of course, Don Cornelius. And he didn't get fancy until he went to LA. Then he had two announcers. One, of course, was Joe Cobb, the one that was going, the Soul Train. That was Joe Cobb. Yep, black and white, Channel 26. At the Board of Trade building. Said you had to climb up the back way to get to the the TV station. And yep, it was in black and white. And in order to see it, of course, you had to have the little round antenna, right? Yep. And you had to have it in a certain position where you could, actually see see what was going on. It was like Channel 44 in the day when they were on when they had the on TV converters. Yeah, the little squiggly lines and stuff. Yeah, squiggly lines. Yeah. Yeah. Remember, Bob, remember he did the weather. It was John Coleman. And when Channel 7 moved their transmitter to the Sears Tower, he was on top of the Sears Tower dancing. I can see clearly now. He was singing. he said, what was it? He said, clear. We moved up to Sears. It was like, oh no. Bob Coleman at the time, not Bob Coleman, but John Coleman. John Coleman was the most popular weatherman in Chicago TV history. Of course, the favorites were Channel 7's Fahey Flynn and Joel Daly. That whole eyewitness news thing. What was the guy? Bill Frink. He was the sports guy before he was replaced by Tim Weigel. Tim Weigel was so popular, they thought he could just do the news by himself because he was just, said, well, let's let Tim Weigel do the news. And like, no, let Tim Weigel keep doing what he was doing, and that was the sports. But John Coleman and Bill Frink, boy, they used to go back and forth. Kind of like Channel 9 News, with Paul Conrad and the guy that does the sports. What was it? Pat Tomasulo. That was Bill Frink and John Coleman back in the day. They used to trade barbs together. I was like, okay. They were funny. See, that's back when news was fun. It wasn't always so serious. Lovers. I heard the way. The event in Indiana, were you there? Yes, I was. Al Parker. Oh my God. Bob, I thought that Al Parker was this tall guy with this voice, right? He was this short guy with a toupee on. I remember there was a death over at Channel 7. And at that time, I was at Columbia. And he was head over radio and TV at Columbia. I said, "Hey, Mr. Parker, heard there's an opening over at WLS for a booth announcer." And in that deep voice of his and no expression on his face, he said, "Don't even try it." I was like, "Oh man, he was cool. He was cool. Don't even try it." I was like, "Dang." A leftover from last night. George Benson, along with the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, and Love All the Hurt Away. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Now, I know, Bob Coleman, I know there's an age difference. He said Al Parker. Now, I got to explain that. Al Parker was a booth announcer at WLS back in the day, Channel 7. He also did the Lincoln Carpets commercials, as well as, what did he do? It was like when you call the phone, it was his voice that said, thank you for calling. The number you are trying to reach is not available at this time. That was him. And he did all these great commercials. He was the voice of everything here in Chicago. And back in the day, of course, we had the little round antennas to see whatever we wanted to see on channel 32 and 26. And they didn't have channel 44 back then until later on. And channel 44 at night became on TV, but you had to have that little box so that you could unscramble it and watch soft porn. I was. Somebody said, with 5 channels, antennas, or clothes hangers. Yeah, all of that. Yep. We went through hangers, boy, I tell you. Anyway, old time TV, black and white. Before Soul Train, there was the Big Bill Hill show. But Don Cornelius never gave Big Bill Hill any credit for that. It was his idea, and that was it. Anyway, Bob Coleman said, my teacher in Chicago was Jim Chanel, Captain Whammo. Mine too. How about that? And Chan Overton taught me how to do voiceovers. He was the voice of Campbell Soup. Man, you going down memory lane. Let me play this song. Here's Ray Goodman and Brown and Shoestrings on Bedtime Stories. Ooh. Captain Whammo kicked me out of Illinois Broadcasting School. He told me I was too good to be there. I was like, really? He said I was just spending my money. He said I had talent and I needed to make a demo and go to a radio station. That was it. And guess where I ended up at, Bob? 1370 WLTH Gary. That's where I ended up at. Thanks to you. They heard my demo that I did. I think I did it at Illinois Broadcasting School. I'm sorry. It was Midwest Broadcasting School at the time. Now it's Illinois Broadcasting. But Captain Whammo, WMET, the Mighty Met. 9:45 in the Windy City. Captain Whammo standing tall. Yep. Mm-hmm. And to answer your question, Bob Coleman, yes, I was in South Bend from Friday to Sunday. Doc Jones is flying in this year for my Bulletproof event in October, and I'm giving him a Bulletproof Achievement Award. Doc Jones. Wow. But man, you bringing up memories. Al Parker. Yeah. The voice of Channel 7. This is Eyewitness News with Fahey Flynn, Joel Daly, Bill Frink on sports, John Coleman with the weather, and the Eyewitness News team. And now, Channel 7 Eyewitness News. That was before they were ABC 7. They're just Channel 7. To the limit. Uh-oh. Now you done it. Not the Jim Shoe Creeper. Come here and sniff my sneaker. Oh boy. Herb and his crew must have been bombed out of their minds when they did those. None of that was scripted. You know the story about the Wahoo man, right? Herb was having dinner at a place called Ringo's. He was eating chili, and somebody was outside, a bum, bumped into his car and set off his alarm on his Cadillac. And the guy got right in the window and said, Wahoo, Wahoo, that don't scare me. So that's how the Wahoo man got started. Greg Goodman and Brown, aka The Moments, and Take It to the Limit. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Bob Coleman, he was talking. He brought up the Wahoo Man. He said the Wahoo Man had all of Chicago scared for a whole summer, and all that was a guy that Herb Kent had, you know, witnessed firsthand. Herb had a Cadillac and it had an alarm on it. Back in the day, you had to stick the key in and turn the alarm on, right? Well, he did. Went into the restaurant, and the guy bumped up against his car, and the alarm went off, and it started going, wahoo, wahoo. So the guy walks up to the window and says, wahoo, wahoo, that don't scare me. That's how the Wahoo Man got started. And the Jim Shoe Creeper and the Electric Crazy People for Rib Supreme. They said, Barbecue Bobby, these are the only ribs that are taste tested. I might have to find those commercials and play them. Yeah, I got all of them. Hear the whispers. Yep, those were real commercials. Baba robbery ba do. Hey, the Rib Genie. And now the Electric Crazy People for Rib Supreme. Like I said, they had to have been blitzed out of their minds. They had to. They had to have been toe up from the flow up. Because most of that stuff they were just, going off the cuff. They just went off the cuff. They were just, you know, improvising. And that's what they did. I'm like, really? Oh, like we would just get in a room and we would just start talking. I'm like, just start talking, and whatever came up came out. I said, y'all had to have been blitzed. Toe up from the flow up. Never too late for your good love, baby. Y'all had to have been smoking some stuff. They had a thing where they got went to a high school, right? Not the Savoy. Oh Lord, yeah, that was right around the street from your house, wasn't it? The Savoy. You were already on 80. What was that? 87th and Wood or something like that. Hermitage. But anyway, Herb said they just came up with stuff out off the top of their heads. I was like, really? Mm-hmm. Fueled by weed. Miss Evans, how are you? I miss you. I miss you, girl. Girl, girl. Oh, girl. I miss you, Cheney. You do. You miss me. You just saying that. I remember one day we were in church, and and of course you'll probably deny this, and I hope your boyfriend's not around you. You know where I'm going with this, right? She said she said, "Ooh, you smell good. You smell good enough to." I said, "Don't say it. We in church. Don't say it." I was like, "I know where you're going with this. We are in the church house." I was like, "Oh my goodness." Yeah, I do miss you, sweetheart. I really do. I really do. So I smell good enough to, you know what? I was like, oh my. And it's always been my experience that the church girls, I dated a church girl. Well, I've dated several church girls. Oh, you're not denying it. Okay. All right. I'm glad you're not. Like I said, we were in the church house when you said that. I was like, girl, you better stop. Mm-mm. Not we drive in the same car. No, no, girl, you better stop. How can you hear the music? Go to Biggs Radio Chicago or to my website, wosdradio.com. Because if I play the music, Facebook's going to cut me off. They're going to cut me off at the knees. So that's why it's so low. This is what I'm playing right now. Chocolate Girl. Just be chocolate star. Yeah. So yeah, they cut you off. Um, I'm on Facebook Live, Twitch, and YouTube. And YouTube, boy, I think they're worse than Facebook. Cut you off at the knees, and make you weak at the knees. Yep. I remember going to a Whispers concert, and they did this song, and I had gotten stood up on a date. I never will forget it. I got stood up, and I got stood up. Yes, I did. And they did this song. They did Chocolate Girl. And I fell to pieces. I was like, ooh, my chocolate girl's not here with me. Anyway, I think one of them turned over and looked at me like, Ninja, you crying? You crying at a Whispers concert? Yeah. Anyway, once again, hello to Bob Coleman. He was one of the guys that was instrumental in my career, me getting my first paying gig in radio at WLTH in Gary. Cheney Evans used to go to church with her, and I miss you and the congregation and everybody else. Say hello to your pastor, who is Cousin Bell, Cousin Pastor Bell. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories.
Purpose. Coming to Chicago, it's Gerald Austin and the Manhattans for a free, that's right, free listening party for their new release, Leave Those Guns Behind. and guns put them down. Saturday, April 19th from 5 until
Oh, you're
7
not
o'clock
there
at the
anymore?
Hilton Chicago Oak Lawn,
Oh, okay.
9333 South Cicero in Oak Lawn with their new hit singles, Taking Over the World, Leave Those Guns Behind, and Guns Gotta Put 'Em Down. Come out to this listening party and be the first to hear the new song from the Manhattans featuring Gerald Austin. It's a new single with a purpose, including a verse featuring Chicago's own Wild Style. In the room will be some of the hottest music producers and promoters to meet and greet and shake hands. On the ones and twos, it'll be Dr. Al Greer and hosted by WCHI.
How long have you been gone
Chicago's
from that
CEO,
church?
Dinah Lynn Biggs. So come on out, music industry friends, family, and listeners. It's the Manhattans featuring Gerald Austin and their new songs, Leave Those Guns Behind and Guns Put 'Em Down.
Hey, it's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, here to let you know to check out the Bull Grill and Food Truck. They started in East Chicago, Indiana, but they're now in Indianapolis, Indiana, serving up corporate and social
Come
events,
fellowship
pop-up
with
events,
us
festivals, and backyard parties.
on 69th and
Has some of the best finger-licking
what is that, Honorary? 69th and Honorary. We started 11, so 6 months. Wow,
708-785-5950.
been quite a change there since the pastor made his transition. Wow.
Indianapolis, get ready because real barbecue is back, baby. Garrett Smokehouse Barbecue, located right in the heart of the city in Indianapolis, Indiana, 5502 Emerson Way. They are serving up the flavors Indy's been missing. I'm talking about fall off the bone ribs, tender rib tips, juicy links, and all your barbecue favorites. And don't forget about them sides because we need the sides with our
So what church are you going to now, Cheney? Or are you just
mac and cheese, fresh
chilling on Sunday?
salad, and those famous baked beans that will keep you coming back for more. Let Garrett Smokehouse Barbecue cater your next event. Call them 317-722-0506. And hey, when you call, tell me your nighttime girlfriend Kim Patterson sent you. Garrett Smokehouse Barbecue, 5502 Emerson Way. Open 7 days a week. You can't beat that. Call them 317-722-0506. Real smoke, real flavor, real Indianapolis.
Real Indianapolis. Thank you, my nighttime girlfriend, Kim Patterson. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories on WOSD Radio, DB Chicago, WCHI Biggs Radio Chicago, WRLN Radio, a Ray Neal media station, WBOE, a Reggie Miles radio station, and My Jam Radio, which belongs to Mike Breezy, formerly known as Mike Brown. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. And Cheney, thank you for being on my live. I haven't seen you since we switched churches. I think we switched churches several times since then. It's like, okay. But and they always say every Sunday, if you need a church home, then come here. That is if we're still there. But hurry up, okay? But yeah, I said, are you chilling on Sunday or are you still going to church? She said, I'm a church girl. Church girls are the worst, I tell you. I'm sorry. Church, I dated a PK, which is a preacher's kid. She was the worst. I tell you, the worst. You think the good girls are in church. The bad girls are in church because they need discipline. No, they don't. They just need to be themselves. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, with the late, great Johnny Harrison Taylor. When I was younger, when I went to Haven Arrest, there was a young lady in the choir. She was in the young adult choir. And she was, oh my goodness. Whoo. she was she was fine. She was so fine, and I could not wait for her to become of age so I could date her. I know that sounds bad. That's some R. Kelly stuff. But at least I waited. I waited until she got of age. And I finally got her to come home with me one night. I don't know how that happened. I'm going to treat you to some limbs tomorrow for dinner. Watch your Zell. Stay bulletproof. Thank you. Bob Coleman, man, I love you, man. I love you, man. I love you, man. Oh, no. You's a bad man. Back in the day, Bob Coleman had his own style of hair. He had the Jerry curl. It was called the Bob Coleman. And I was like, wow, how cool is that? Now, we were stars back then at LTH. You know, I remember one day we were at the African Fest. It was me and the Diz, and they were broadcasting live from um, from the fest, right? It was VON, GCI, and our station, and it was just man. We were standing there, and usually people would be around us, trying to get autographs, trying to get tickets for concerts, this, that, and the other. Nothing. Nothing. And I walked up to Diz. He said, "What's up, Uncle Al?" I said, "Nothing, man." He said, "Remember when we were stars?" I said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, I remember that." And unless we had tickets hanging out of our pockets or whatever we were giving away at the time, there was a guy who worked there, and I'm sure you remember this story, Bob. Jammin' Dave Michaels. Well, Jammin' Dave Michaels used to break into the prize closet. He had a way where he got through, climbed over the whatever, and got in there. And I guess he was looking for stuff to give away, tickets, bumper stickers, you name it. Anything with WGCI on it. Because he said he got tired of people stopping him in the street and he didn't have anything to give away. So he started lining his pockets with tickets and other GCI paraphernalia so he would be able to give it away when people saw him in the street because he felt bad that he didn't have anything to give away. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, check that out. Yep. Me and Roy rocked the house at Chicago Fest at Navy Pier. One year we turned it out. I believe it. I talked to him, I want to say like maybe 3-4 months ago. Yeah. Right before right before BGX shut down. I talked to him then. You know, cool brother. I know that's your boy. Y'all, man, y'all was y'all was Siamese twins back in the day. Y'all was Siamese twins. Y'all were doing, what was that? Dang, what's that place out by Lincoln Highway? Y'all were doing that and just all over the place. They don't do that anymore. Yeah, they don't do that anymore. Yeah. And once again, that was back in the day when radio personnel they were stars. I remember watching the episode of Common Ground. It was Bobby O.J., Bob Wall, Tom Joyner, Lee Michaels, and they were all on there. And they were like, Bob Wall was the only white guy there. Ooh, back in the day, Tyrone Davis wasn't nothing to play with. Mm-mm-mm. I loved watching the album label. It had those arrows, and they were all in different colors, and it would just go round and round. I would just watch it go round and round. Not the 45s, but the LPs. The 45s would have made me dizzy. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Once again, hello to Cheney Evans, Bob Coleman, Brother Henry Cooper, and of course, Deron Williams. Thank you for always being there for me. I really appreciate it, especially you, Bob. You, man, you gave me my start, man. You gave me my start. Yeah, I knew then what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, and I appreciate you, brother. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, speaking of what he wanted to do for the rest of his life once when he got out. Kevin Brooks, what's going on, sir? Rick James. So, like I always ask, how's the weather down in Atlanta? Let's see. It says, let me look at my computer. Temps to plummet. Like, why? Currently, it's 41 degrees. Donald Trump's approval rating breaks new record low. You think? 55 degrees. We got 41. So I'll take your 55 and I'll raise you. Mm-mm. 55 degrees right now in Atlanta. Hello. I guess they think that's cold down there, right? You're like, "Psst, please, this ain't nothing. Come to Chicago." So that 55 ain't nothing. Come to Chicago. We'll show you cold weather, okay? Tomorrow in Atlanta will be mostly cloudy and 67 degrees. And here in Chicago, it will be, see forecast. Let's see. Tomorrow, Wednesday, it says 71 degrees. I don't trust it. I'm sorry. Bob Coleman said it's 100 in Arizona. Show off. Ah. Kimberly Patterson, KP. You know how I feel about you, right? You know how I feel about you. I hope I got those interviews edited correctly. I put two of them together because you had interviewed two people in the same night, so I put those together instead of separating them, and that's what confused me. So, but I hope I cleared that up. Yes, because you know how I feel about you, right? I was confused. I'm like, what does she want me to do? What do you want me to do? I'm like, oh, it was two interviews in one night. You wanted them separated. Okay. Even the doctor gets confused every now and then. Every now and then I get confused. I know that's hard to believe. I got confused. I'm like, what? 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 Where? Who? What? So, guys, once again, I'm on, but I got it right. Okay. Okay, cool. Because you had like one on one night, then you had two on another night, and then one on another night. So, and then you had a co host. What was her name? Coco or something like that? I don't know. I was breezing through them. That's probably why. So, KP, we're doing shaka tonight. Shaka. Bless you, brother. Thank you. Right on, brother. Lems tomorrow. Play our song. Oh, that's our song now. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yep. I usually don't get up until noon, and I'm not ashamed of saying that. Yeah. I usually, you know, I get out of the bed, do some work, and I go back to bed. Like I've done a full day of work. So, but that's it. You know. I know, right? You know how I feel about you. Mm-mm. I'm sure somebody was waiting to see me come out of your bedroom on Friday or Saturday. Like, nope. Sorry to disappoint you. Nope, we don't do that. There was enough going on. They didn't, we didn't need to be included in the drama. That's why I went to sleep. And I couldn't lock my door, unfortunately. I'm like, the door don't lock. Just the main bedrooms, they locked. So I know your bedroom was locked. I know. Don't want that, you know. Ooh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I didn't know you were. Yeah, right. Uh-huh. Yeah. Don't even try it, right? Oh, I didn't know your door was unlocked. I'm so sorry. Like, well, turn around and leave. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I just didn't know. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Oh yeah. Two in a row from James Ambrose Johnson Jr., also known as Rick James. And Teardrops right here on Bedtime Stories. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. We had a great time this past weekend in South Bend, Indiana, as we did the Biggs Radio's music seminar, part two. And it was crazy. I can't even tell you guys about it. But all I can tell you was it was like how can I put it? Um, what was that when we were kids? It was like spring break. That's what it was. Spring break. Everybody was just doing their thing. It was like spring break. Remember MTV used to have the spring break? Yeah. Our spring break almost turned into Freaknik. But anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Hello to Kim Patterson. You can check out every Thursday with the Thursday night rewind. Yeah. Here's our song, sweetheart. Hanging Downtown from Cameo on Bedtime Stories. Boom, 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 boom. He said he fell on his penis. Yeah, It almost turned into Freaknik. Not the Freaknik. Yes, I am doing the Gerald Austin event. Yep, I am looking forward to the Gerald Austin event. What's interesting is, Gerald is what, 70, 71, 72, and he's been interviewed by countless radio personalities over the years. But he requested Dinah Lynn and I to be there. I was like, how did he remember me? But I guess entertainers remember the best people that interviewed them, you know, and of course those that are still alive, because yeah, a lot of, you know, a lot of folks are not here anymore. You know, people like Frankie Crocker and Jerry Bledsoe. Who else? Anybody who was on BLS back in the day, anybody who was on VON back in the day, they're all gone. So I guess he remembered those those of us that were still with us, um, you know, to do the interview and do this listening party, which I'm looking forward to. I'm like, oh, I was requested. Oh, okay, yeah, you know, that's to me that's scary. You're like, yeah, give me that guy. What's his name? That Al Greer guy. Oh, okay. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll be there. You know, and I say this all the time. I don't think that much of me until somebody makes a big deal out of me. Then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm that guy. Yeah, but otherwise, I don't make a big deal out of it. I just don't. You know, ain't no big thing. I mean, when I'm mentioned in the conversation, it's usually, you know, yeah, him and Herb Kent used to hang out. Him and Richard Peggy used to hang out. And people remind me of that. They remember, Herb and Richard and all the people that I hung out with back in the day. You know, he's Herb's boy. I'm like, well, thank you. Yep, it's always interesting, when somebody remembers me. Like I was at a concert. It was the Stylistics, Enchantment, and the Manhattans. So Russell Tompkins Jr., who's the lead singer of the new Stylistics, he stops in mid concert. It's like, okay. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? He said, is Dr. Greer in the? I'm like, huh? How did he remember? Because I interviewed him that Wednesday, and the concert was that Saturday. And I guess he must have enjoyed the conversation that we had. Because he said, you really did your homework, didn't you? I said, yeah. I was at work one night and I saw this video of you being interviewed in the backyard. And the interview was almost an hour. And I just sat there and watched it and remembered almost everything that was said. And that was it. So I was like, wow. I said, if I ever get a chance to interview him, I'm going to hit him with it. So he called me that day, Mr. Tompkins, and he said, "What are you going to ask me?" I said, "Okay, I'm going to ask you about the first song, the songs that you did with Tom Bell and Linda Creed, the songs you did with Van McCoy, the songs you did with Dexter Wansell." He was like, "You know all?" Yes, yes, sir. From "You're a Big Girl Now" all the way to "Hurry Up This Way Again." He said, "Oh, okay." He said, "That is all." And he hung up the phone, and he called in that night. We did the interview, and I guess he must have enjoyed. As I said, "Can I ask you anything?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay. Did you or did you not sing on every song that the Stylistics made?" "Yes." "Did the Stylistics sing on every song that the Stylistics made?" He said, "No." I said, "Oh." I said, "Tom Bell only liked my voice. He didn't like them harmonizing, so they were replaced by studio singers." I said, "Oh, yeah." The Ohio Players and "Alone." That's the live version right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. At one time, they would call out names, and then, or and those names became titles of songs. "Alone," "Fire," "Smoke." You get the picture. "Skin Tight," "Sweet Sticky Thing," and they would just write to that. So that's the key to being a great songwriter. It's like, okay, here's a phrase or a word. We need you to write a whole song to it. And sometimes those songs would be fantastic. Just ask Smokey Robinson. Here's the first of two in a row from the Stylistics. "Hurry Up This Way Again." Just ahead of foreplay.
St. Kitts and Nevis, Ukraine, and UAE. I guess Zimbabwe couldn't make it. It's probably for the best. Goodbye to the mall in reverse. It was amazing. Meanwhile, her husband was in Memphis yesterday. He took a VIP tour of Grace there. He invaded Graceland, and then Elvis hosted a roundtable to crack down on crime, including the most putting your ballots in a mailbox. Brought to my attention today that we're the only country that does mail-in voting. Mail-in voting means mail-in cheating. I call it mail-in cheating. That's right. He prefers in-person cheating. And he keeps saying it was brought to his attention today that we're the only country that does mail-in voting. When is somebody going to step in and tell him that is not true? 34 countries have mail-in voting. All the countries that have mail-in voting. So here's where the real magic comes in. That was yesterday. Guess what he did today? That's right. He voted by mail today for the special election in Florida. He's unbelievable. Donald Trump claiming he wants to protect election integrity is like Bill Cosby telling you he'll watch your drink for you. That his blow dryer is powered by a windmill or something. I mentioned this last week, and now it is official. The Trump administration is shelling out $1 billion of our money to cancel construction of wind turbines in North Carolina and New York. He's paying this company to not build these renewable energy farms because he calls windmills. He says they're unsightly, they're ugly monsters, they're losers, a con job, they're bad for the environment, and they make a lot of noise. which is exactly how most of us feel about him. Do you know where the windmill was invented? It was invented in Iran. Persians invented the windmill between 500 and 900 AD, and now he wants to destroy them for it, I guess. The man of La Mancha again declared victory in Iran today. He said, this war has been won, and yet we're still fighting it. Or are we? We don't know. According to the president, there were some major progress yesterday thanks to a mysterious gift. You think I trust them? I don't trust them. Then why bother talking to them? Because they're going to make a deal. They're going to make a deal. They did something yesterday that was amazing, actually. They gave us a present, and the present arrived today. It was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it is a very significant prize. And they said they were going to give it, so that meant one thing to me: we're dealing with the right people. A prize? Either a present or a prize. What kind of present did they send? Did they give him a Vitamix? I mean, what? Is he sure it's safe to open this present when he gets it? Because who would have ever guessed he could be easily manipulated by expensive gifts? Maybe they gave him a medal that says "World's Greatest Enemy" or something. I don't know. I can't wait to find out.
Where did everybody go? Everybody taking a nap. I got to have your love. Yo, Angie. When you text me, I was about to lay down. So yeah, that's why I didn't make it over there. But I'll be over there tomorrow. Don't give my leftovers away. Don't give my leftovers away. comes easy. Mm-mm. I'm still here. Him downstairs. Him still here. Downstairs. Woo! Him still here. Him downstairs. Mm-mm. Woo! You are funny. Wait for foreplay before I might go night night. Before I go night night. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure you will enjoy it too. It will be most pleasurable to you. Con! Anyway, I always wanted to say that. It's easy. Mm-mm-mm. I'm still here. Welcome. Easy. The Stylistics featuring Russell Tompkins Jr. and Love Comes Easy right here on Bedtime Stories, just about 10 minutes away from foreplay. Come on, Kim. 10 more minutes. You can stay up. You can do it, girl. Hello to my sister from another mister, Angie Martin Turner. Uh, keep my leftovers. Don't let nobody get my leftovers, please. Thank you. I'll be by to get them tomorrow. Here's Ray Goodman and Brown, aka The Moments. I could have loved you. I could have loved you. Mm. Shaka Khan, whose birthday was yesterday. Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan, Shaka 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 Shaka. Shaka Zulu, Shaka Zulu. Come on, you. Come on, you. Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. Why? You just can't like before. I don't want to go. Sending out my good night blurbs. The Moments, aka Ray Goodman and Brown. I don't want to go, but I just can't stay here no more. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, just ahead of foreplay. Mailman. I had one more commercial to play, but excuse me. I'll play that one. I'll do a makeup for that one. We are WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WCHI Biggs Radio Chicago, WRLN Radio, a Ray Neal media station, WBOE, the best of everything, a Reggie Miles station, and of course, My Jam Radio, which is owned by Mike Brown, now known as Mike Breezy. It is time for foreplay. She was born 73 years ago, Yvette Marie Stevens, right here in Chicago. She's known as the Queen of Funk. Her career spanned over 5 decades. She started off as the lead vocalist of a group called Rufus. She replaced Paulette McWilliams, who at the time she said she was ready to start a family. So she stepped away, but not without choosing her replacement, which was this young lady. The name of the group at the time was called Ask Rufus. And she's just been performing, like I said, 5 decades. 5 decades. R&B, funk, pop, disco, and jazz. Tonight we feature in foreplay Chicago's own Shaka Adun, Adolphe, Jamona, Jamoja, Emoja, Hodare, Karafe. Did I get all the names in? Yeah, she has a long name. Khan. Tonight here on Foreplay. Here's Shaka. Do. Excuse me. Then I'll go crazy. Sweet thing. Yes, you are. Mm.
With Al Greer on Bedtime Stories.
Ugh. Hmm. Right down to the wire. Hmm. DJ called down. I was just tasting the chicken that I made. It was two frozen chicken breasts, and I put them in the slow cooker. And I was just tasting them. I wasn't eating a full meal. I was just tasting and making sure I got enough season in there. That was it. So I just peeled off a piece, and it's nice and tender, falling off the bone, just like I like it. The only thing is, I don't have any pepper to put on it. I have lemon pepper, but that ain't pepper. It's more salt than it is pepper. So, so it's not bad. DJ Carl Dobbins. I had my meal earlier, so this is just tasting the chicken. Yeah. Yep. Mm. Gotta be there. DJ Carl Dobbins. Yep, I'll have dinner tomorrow. Go find some noodles and put in there. And of course, some pepper. Any else Sunday will do. Any old Sunday will do.
Less than 2 hours after that video was filmed, the girl on stage in that video would be dead. Her name was Christina Grimmie. She was a famous singer here in America, and she was murdered in 2016. So Christina had been making music and performing all of her life, but her real rise to fame started when she was on the show The Voice. After Christina was on The Voice, the world kind of opened up for her. She made her major label debut, she started going on tours all across the world, and she was a rising star. Sadly, though, she attracted the attention of a very disturbed individual who can actually be seen here in footage from her final show, creepily watching Christina perform from the crowd, knowing what he was about to do. That man was 27-year-old Kevin James Loibl. So Christina's performance that evening ended at about 10 p.m., and afterwards she moved over to a little booth to sign autographs for people who had come to the show. At around 10:24 p.m., Kevin approached Christina. Christina, thinking he was just like every other fan there, opened her arms up to give him a big hug. But that's when Kevin retrieved a Glock pistol from his person and shot her 3 times at point-blank range. After the shots rang out, Christina's brother tackled Kevin to the ground. Yes, sadly, Christina's brother was there working the booth with her that evening. But after a fight, Kevin managed to get himself free. He retrieved his Glock and he took his own life right next to Christina's body. Sadly, Christina had been shot twice in the chest and once in the head. And by 10:59 p.m., not even a full hour after she finished her performance, Christina Grimmie was pronounced dead. Afterwards, Kevin's family left this note for the media. This was all they had to say after the tragedy. But fans, even to this day, remember Christina as an amazing singer.
Wow.
And talk about the potential that she had if she hadn't been taken from this world so quickly. If you want to listen to more true crime stories, check out the podcast Murder in a...
Wrapping up foreplay, 4 plus 1 more from the great Shaka Khan. Over 5 decades. Wow, that's a long time. The Clean of Funk. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Thank you to Kimberly Patterson for reminding me. It's like, what about Shaka? Shaka's birthday was actually yesterday, but we did George Benson instead because George Benson's birthday was Sunday. So just trying to catch up. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. From GIE, this is June Denise Williams on Bedtime Stories. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Do do. Sit for you. Turning me around. No everlasting love. I thought I played all of them. I guess I didn't. Okay. Well, I got you. I thought you was asleep by now. I thought I could skip over that since that was a Rufus song and not a Shaka Khan song. But what do I know? You know, I've only been doing this for 50 years. 50. 50 years. But we'll do everlasting love. No problem. Don't be hurt. It was a Rufus song. Once again, what do I know, right? Yes, it's gonna make it. Take a minute. Inglewood. Take a minute. Ooh, baby. But like I said, what do I know? Mine is marked Rufus. All the songs I played were marked Shaka Khan. But once again, I'm old, senile, onslaught of Alzheimer's, dementia, whatever. You know, I was just going by what I saw on the screen. So if that's the case, I would have played their whole catalog because all the more popular songs were with Rufus. What I want to know is when are the gas prices going down? That's what I want to know. I want to know. So when did she made him? What was the original name of Rufus? And what was their biggest song? I'll wait. And don't go to Wikipedia and try to look it up either. Either you know or you don't know. And where did they get the name Rufus? The name Rufus came from a popular mechanics magazine. a popular mechanics magazine, and there was a section in there called Ask Rufus, which was the name of their, I believe, third album. You know, it seemed like Shaka got bigger and bigger on every album cover until the one that had Sweet Thing on it, she was just sitting on one of those couches with the big lips with her legs gapped open. It's like, ooh. Ooh. Hello. Who did it best? Who? So who did it best? The Royalettes or Niecy? Well, you know what I'm going to say. Niecy. Niecy put it down. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. The name Rufus came from a popular mechanics magazine. The name of that magazine was called, let me look it up because I don't remember, Mechanics Illustrated. They then changed their name to Smoke. They were also known as the American Breed. Their biggest hit was Bend Me, Shape Me, Any Way You Want Me, before they became Rufus featuring Shaka Khan. This is Everlasting Love for Kimberly. Boom, doo, doo, boom, 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 doo, doo. When I feel. Yep, their original hit was Bend Me, Shape Me, Any Way You Want Me. That's why Rufus got mad because he couldn't have her. Ah, oh my goodness. Rufus was the name of the group. It wasn't a guy. It was a guy, but he wrote never mind. Forget it. That's why Rufus got mad because he couldn't have her. She was sexy back then. She was, Shaka was always sexy. I saw her this past summer at the Renaissance Festival, and she had on a jumpsuit then. I'm like, dang, she must have had on something, the pins under that, because I'd be like, you know, to do a hour concert and not have to pee at our age, please. Or you read that somewhere, okay? Interesting, interesting. But yep, they were known as Smoke, Ask Rufus, and the American Breed. Bend me, shape me any way you want me. Yeah, I should play that one night on the show just to trip people out. It's like, here's one of the original songs by Rufus when they were the American Breed. People would be looking like, really? She's still young and looks amazing. She looks. She don't look like what she's been through. You know, she finally kicked that cocaine habit, thank God. But back in the day, um, there's a cover, there's an album cover with Little Kim on it. Little Kim recreated Shaka Khan's album cover, and others have followed in their footsteps with the, you know, sitting on the chair with their legs open. So, but Shaka was one of the first to do it, and she was, hmm, I think every black boy that I knew had Shaka's album cover on their walls with her legs gapped open. She was, yeah, she was that girl back then. She was that girl back then. She was the it girl, and it was just a matter of time that she was going to leave the group. You know, and she left the group. They reunited maybe once or twice. They did an album called Numbers where Paulette McWilliams came back, um, and they had like guest singers on that album. But there was nobody like Shaka. You know, nobody came close. So in I think it was 80, either 79 or 80, they did the Master Jam album where they reunited, and they both had separate management companies. The group was managed by one company and Shaka was managed by the other company, and they merged together thanks to Quincy Jones. He's like, y'all do one more album together. Come on. And they were against it. I mean, dead set against it. Like, let's not do an album together. A few years later, after that, they reunited here in Chicago at the Chicago Theater, and I was the MC for that show. And I got to bring them out. I was backstage with them. Her son came up to me. Yeah, because he was a whole, you know. He said, "How are you going to introduce the group?" I said, "Rufus and Shaka Khan." He said, "Nope." I said, "No." Shaka Khan and Rufus? No. It's Rufus featuring Shaka Khan. I'm like, I said that, Shaka Khan and Rufus. No, it's Rufus featuring Shaka Khan. I'm like, who are you anyway? Well, it was her son, so that's the way they wanted the group to be introduced. Rufus featuring Shaka Khan, not Rufus and Shaka. Yeah, they wanted separate billing, not equal billing. So, yeah. Yeah, when when she did the solo album with I'm Every Woman on it, there was no going back to the group because Nicholas Ashford and Valerie Simpson. Valerie wrote the music. Nicholas wrote the words. You know, like Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. Exactly. Exactly. Because at any Maze concert, you never knew who you were going to get because he had uh, what do they call it? A rotating door. You know, those doors that, yeah. So you might get anybody as the band. You know, they stopped posting names of the band on the albums after a while. It's like, it don't matter. All that matters is Frankie Beverly was the headliner. You know, they always saying we're going to the Frankie concert. You never hear them say we're going to a Maze concert. Maze was just the backing band because most of the members, the original members, had left. That is Rufus featuring Shaka Khan. I had to get that right one time when I emceed a show at the Chicago Theater. I remember being there that night, and somebody said, "Cedric the Entertainer's in the audience." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I shouted out, you know, I said, "We got. I hear we have Cedric the Entertainer in the audience." I said, "Cedric, why don't you come on up here?" And he he waved his hands as if to say, "No, no, no, mm-mm," because then people would want to hear him, you know, do some jokes. And I was the MC, and he wasn't getting paid that night. So I found out later on. So he did not want to go up there. He just came to see the concert. He just wanted to see the concert, period. He didn't come to work. So therefore, he sat in the audience like everybody else. But somebody said, "Cedric here, Cedric here." So I introduced him, and he waved to everybody, and he sat back down. I was like, "Oh, okay, that's how we do that." But anyway, when asked how I was going to introduce them, I said, "Rufus and Shaka Khan." "No." "Shaka Khan and Rufus?" "No." "It's Rufus featuring Shaka Khan." I was like, "Oh, I got it now. Okay." Rufus featuring Shaka Khan. They had two separate management companies representing them. When Shaka did her album in 1978, which was produced by Nicholas Ashford and Valerie Simpson, "I'm Every Woman" became an anthem for her up until the time that Whitney recorded it. She kind of snatched it back. Whitney was one of the background singers on the original song. How about that? Did you know that, Kim? And you'll be taken care of. You'll be taken care of. Yep. Yep. They had two different management companies. So therefore, the managers had to come to an agreement. Who was one of the backup singers for who? Whitney Houston sang backup on "I'm Every Woman," the original version from 1978. She sang background on that song. She was only, she was 17, 18 years old. Yeah. So she sang background for the original song and then re-recorded it for herself. And it became a bigger hit when she did it. Shaka, of course, appeared in the video because at the end, she says Shaka Khan. And then in the video, you see Shaka Khan. So she was giving her kudos. Shaka gave her blessings to do that song. And here's a trivia question. Have you ever heard someone else do a Shaka Khan song? I'll give you a while to think about it. There have been no remakes of, you know, as a matter of fact, Shaka did not like Mary J. Blige's version of Sweet Thing. Didn't like it. So no one else did a remake of any Shaka Khan songs. Nope. Nobody ever redid any Shaka songs. Yeah. Oh, I take that back. Luther did Papillon, but he did it first. Chanson Papillon. Luther did it first before Shaka did. So that's the exception to the rule. Yep. Remember the group Chic? How many members were in the group Chic? It was Nile Rodgers, Bernard Edwards, Alpha Rogers, um, the other young lady whose name I can't remember right now, and Tony Thompson, who was the drummer. So you think those two women were the only singers on all of Chic's records? Think again. all the background singers who sang on all of Luther's songs also sang on all of Chic's songs. As a matter of fact, if you pull out your CDs and or records and look at all of Chic's albums, it says, and featuring Luther Vandross, Fonzie Thornton, Paulette McWilliams, Sissy Houston. They all sang background. Same thing with Sister Sledge, We Are Family. He loved while they loved their voices, they needed a little oomph. So when you're listening to We Are Family, you're also hearing Fonzie Thornton, um, was it Alpha Martin, of course, Lucy Martin. Anyway, but all of Luther's background singers sang on all of Sister Sledge's songs. Fonzie Thornton, uh, who else? Fonzie, Paulette, they all sang background on all the New York stuff. Here's a trivia question. What group played behind Michael Jackson on his Off the Wall album? I'll let you figure that out. Who was the background group for Michael Jackson's first album, Off the Wall? Rufus. Everybody who was in the group, Rufus, played behind Michael Jackson. They played on the Off the Wall album, with the exception of a few cuts, Girlfriend, and Turn This Disco Out, and Get on the Floor. The only difference was Louis Johnson was the bass player from the Brothers Johnson. How about that? It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, dropping some knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Here's more from Shaka. This is Papillon, originally done by Luther. He did it first.
Oh my gosh. Amen. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Ooh.
He love me. He love his mom. He love. Hey, don't do that. Love me. He love his mom. He love. Hey, don't do that. Love me. He love his mom. He love. Hey, don't do that. Love me. He love his mom. He love. Hey, don't do that. Love me. He love his mom. He love. Hey, don't do that. Love me. He love his mom. He love. Hey, don't do that. Love me. He love his mom. He love. Hey, Don't do that. Love me. You love it.
According to a 2023 Gallup poll, Americans only start to see a rise in levels of happiness at which of these ages? 25 or 50?
There is no question for me. I just turned 50 and I am the happiest I've ever been in my life. So if this is a wrong answer, everybody, because there
All right, your answer is
everybody. I feel like I should have said some different ground rules.
okay. If I heard you correctly, you're saying 50.
With all my heart, 50. I don't know if that's the right answer, but it is for me.
All right.
I'm 55 and absolutely life gets better after 50. 100%. Let's see what everybody else says. Exactly.
Everybody else says the same thing. It's 50.
Are you getting me?
Sorry, Luther, we're going to have to cut you short. Who did it best? That's a toss up right there. Thank you so much for staying up with me. We really appreciate you. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Donations are welcome via Zelle at alpgreer@gmail.com. That's Al P as in Paul, Greer @gmail.com. Thank you to Henry Cooper, Kimberly Patterson, TC, Daryl Gregg, my sister Angie. Thank you so much, Kim Patterson. We'll talk because you know how I feel about you. Till next time, blue skies, green lights. and peace. Good night, Monique. And peace out. Peace out.